All right, this is breakfast as usual for me. My donut shop coffee and a little bit of this Coffee Mate. That is sugar-free Italian sweet cream. And I always measure this out just because I tend to use way more if I don't. So a tablespoon is 0 points. If you do 2 tablespoons of this, it's 2 points. So I always try to keep it at 1. Splash it everywhere. Mix that in there. And that is breakfast for 0 points. All right, so for lunch today, I'm gonna be having one of my absolute go-tos. I make this stuff all the time. In fact, I think the very first What I Eat in a Day video, I had this in that one for lunch. And that is avocado egg salad. It's very easy, it's very yummy, and like I said, it is just a go-to for me. So that is gonna start out with 2 ounces of avocado, and I always weigh this out now just to be, more precise. So I'm gonna go ahead and just cut this and get 2 ounces of avocado. All right, so that's 2 ounces, so I'm gonna just throw that in my bowl. And then to that, I'm gonna add some non-fat plain Greek yogurt. And I don't measure this anymore, but I'm gonna say it's about a half cup. So the 2 ounces of avocado is 3 points, and the half cup of the plain Greek yogurt is just 1 point. So now I'm gonna just take some yellow mustard, and I'm gonna squirt a little bit of that in there. And then in this container is apple cider vinegar. So I just add a little bit of that, not too much. And now I'm gonna add a little bit of granulated garlic. I love garlic. I add garlic to so many different things. And you can put whatever kind of seasonings in this you want. This is just what I've been using. And lately, I don't know if I was using this in the first video that I showed making this, but I've been adding this Mrs. Dash salt-free blend just for a little extra flavor. So just a little bit of that. And then I add in a little bit of salt. And all this is to taste, and again, your personal preference. I just put about that much salt in. Not a whole lot. Well, actually, I'm gonna put a little tiny bit more. I like my salt, but I'm always trying to cut back on it. Okay, so now that I've got that all together, I'm just going to mush up the avocado and get this all nice and kind of mixed together until it's not necessarily creamy, because I do like having little chunks of avocado in there, but mostly creamy. And I really missed eating this when we were on our trip because I didn't have it at all. And like I said, this is something that I eat at least twice a week for lunch, probably more, to be honest. It's just something I really enjoy, and it's really easy to make too. Okay, so that's about, sorry, I don't think I had it on screen. That's about what it looks like when I mix it up. So now I'm gonna add some onion to this. Now, like garlic, I love my onion, and so onion is something that I add to so many things, and I tend to go a little overboard on the onion for most people. So what I'm gonna add to this is probably more than most people would want to, but I'm just gonna show you what I add. And I always have my onions, I've got green and red here. Well, I should say I usually always have onions cut up because I use them so much. And so that just makes it a whole lot easier, especially when I'm making something like this all the time, to just have these pre-cut and ready to go. So I just throw some red in there and some green. And then lastly are the eggs. And eggs are another thing that I always have in the fridge. I usually will boil up at least 18 at a time, usually more. And then I peel them all and just put them in a Rubbermaid container like this. So they're super easy to just grab as a snack or to use in something like this. I also use eggs in salads a lot. So again, just something that I like to have on hand, and it just makes my life easier when I go to use an egg or just eat an egg, because I'll just eat them too. I love eggs. Okay, so I'm gonna take 2 of these and I'm gonna just cut them up real quick, and then I will be back. Okay, so that's 2 eggs cut up. Just dump them in there, and on the green plan, eggs are 2 points a piece. I do believe they are 0 on the blue and purple, but on the green, they are 2 points. So altogether, this ends up being 8 points for this. So I just mix this real well, and that is it. It's easy as that. So with this, you could do chips, like a multi-grain chip or something like that, and I have done that in the past, but now that I'm doing Weight Watchers, I don't want to add any extra points more than I need to, so I usually always will dip this with a veggie. I've done peppers before, but my favorite is cucumber. So these are the cucumbers that I use. I like the English kind. That's just personal preference. I've used the other just regular cucumbers before too, but these are my favorite. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this out of the packaging and wash it up real good before I cut it. I cut the ends of these off pretty far back. And then I give them to my Bella. Come here, Bella. She loves cucumber. Every time I make this, she knows when it's lunchtime and she comes over here and waits to get her pieces of cucumber. I cut this one a little smaller. I don't know. Let me know if your dog eats cucumber. My dog eats pretty much everything there is. Except for what? Jalapenos, and she doesn't like cigar smoke. That's about it. Anyway, back to my cucumber here. So like I said, I just cut this up, and I will typically use about half of one of these. And so then I'll just store the other half for another day. I also like to just eat these with salad dressing too. Like a low-cal, low-fat salad dressing. The I think it's Opa by Lighthouse. I've tried that one, and I've also tried, I can't remember what the other one's called, but the Opa is my favorite. So I'll eat these with a little bit of that too. So I just put these in a container. I love these containers, by the way. They are from Sam's Club. They have, they're glass. They have plastic lids. So, like I said, I'll probably use half of these and then I'll just store the rest in the fridge. But cucumbers are 0 points. So that part of my lunch is 8 points. I'm also going to be having some of these Bing cherries. These actually come from, where did I say, Wenatchee? Washington? Yeah, Washington is a big cherry state. That's actually my home state where I lived for 39 years. But anyway, love the Bing cherries. These are 0 points. I'm probably not going to eat all these. That is like a lot of cherries. I'll probably eat about half of them. But this is what I've got left that's washed up. So 0 points for those. And then these Skinny Pop popcorn mini cakes and salted caramel. These are new find for me. We tried the popcorn version of this brand, and the salted caramel was my favorite. We bought, it was like a variety pack. It had salted caramel, I think white cheddar and original, but anyway, good popcorn. Okay, sorry, my card was full, so I got cut off, but what I was saying was I really like the Skinny Pop popcorn, so I wanted to try these, and these are not bad. You get, what is it? 20 or 28 grams is the serving size, and that is 4 points. So while these are pretty good, I think I prefer the popcorn to these, but I don't know. They're good. So I'm gonna measure out a serving of these. Okay, so that's 28 grams and 4 points. And I don't know if you can see on these, it's picking up, but I think one of the things I don't necessarily like about these is they have kind of a powder on them, which I guess is the flavoring. I don't know. I don't really like that, but they are, taste-wise, pretty good. And then lastly, I'm gonna have a Diet Mountain Dew, which I do most days, and that is 0 points.
You do the Dew?
I do the Dew.
The Diet Dew?
The Diet Dew. And so this is my lunch for the day. Like I said, 8 points for the avocado egg salad, 0 for the cucumbers, 0 for the cherries, and 4 for the popcorn mini cakes, 0 for the Dew, for a total of 12 points. All right, I just got done doing my workout on my elliptical. And so now I am gonna take a little break, sit down, do some editing. And I thought I would have my snack now while I do that. So what I'm having for snack today is one of these protein 2.0 waters. They're just protein infused waters, and they have 15 grams of protein and 1 SmartPoint. And then I'm also gonna have one of my favorite snacks, and that is these original Jack Link's 100% beef steak. That's what they look like. I love these things. It's a really kind of a hearty snack, and they're only a point. So the 2 of these together is just 2 points for my snack today. And here is my dinner tonight. So back here, I've got some New York steak. That is 3 ounces, and it is 5 SmartPoints for 3 ounces, which is a little high. We don't eat a lot of steak. First off, it's expensive, and second, it is kind of high in points as far as meats go. So it's kind of a special treat, and I'm just having, it's basically half of a steak, and it is, like I said, 5 points for that. And then here, I'm having a big salad to kind of offset the tiny little steak there, and that's just a mixed salad. I think it's like butter lettuce and whatever else in there. And it's got some tomatoes, some avocado. The avocado is 1.5 ounces, so that's 2 points. And also I added some green onion and red onion from the onions that I had earlier. Like I said, I use onions a ton, so having them chopped up all the time just makes my life easier. So those are on there. And then I'm gonna add some of this OPA, avocado cilantro Greek yogurt dressing that I was talking about earlier, actually. And here's the nutrition facts on that. This is a point for 2 tablespoons. Now, dressing is one of those things that I always use way too much of, so I'm probably gonna use 4 tablespoons or 2 servings, and that's gonna make it 3 points with Weight Watcher math. So that's okay though. Dressing is one of those things, like I said, I just love, and it's hard for me to not use a lot of it. But with this stuff, you know, 4 tablespoons for 3 points is not too bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that here in a little bit. I won't show it on camera, but I will measure it out with a tablespoon thing to make sure. I'll either measure that out or weigh it out to make sure I don't go way over. But yeah, that's dinner. So with steak at 5 points and the avocado at 2 and the dressing at 3, I have got a 10-point dinner here. And here is my snack for tonight. This is a snack that we have a lot of nights, and it's just popcorn that is popped in coconut oil. This is what I use for coconut oil. So I use 2 teaspoons of coconut oil. I throw that in there, and then a 1/4 cup of popcorn kernels. And both the coconut oil and the popcorn kernels are 4 points. So that makes this popcorn 8 points total, which might be a little high, but as far as I'm concerned, it's definitely worth it. Like I said, we have this most nights. In fact, I have my little thing there with my teaspoon to measure out the coconut oil. That's always sitting there usually because we make this so often. But yeah, so you just throw the coconut oil in a pot with the kernels, and once that starts to pop, you basically want to just turn the heat off and just let it go until the popping slows way down. And that's pretty much done. But yeah, it's very easy and very yummy. I really enjoy the flavor of the coconut oil in this. I always say it kind of makes it taste almost like movie theater popcorn because it's an oil that you're using. And as you can hear there, it's starting to pop. And I don't know if I said, but you want to turn this on high heat. So I'll let that kind of pop for a little bit. And then once it starts going a little faster, about like that, I'll turn the heat off. And then I'll just let it go. Until, like I said, it slows down. And here it is, all popped. My husband's waiting to take it. This is actually his. I'm gonna make mine next. I put salt on mine. He's good and does not put salt on his. But yeah, I like my sodium. I just try to cut back in other places. But yeah, this is an 8-point snack, and this finishes my night. So that gives me a total of 32 points out of 30, and I went over a little bit, but I'm okay with that because that's what the weekly points are for, and it's still much better than I was doing when I was on my trip. So I will take it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope maybe you got some ideas. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.